Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. And before we get started with today's video, remember to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and without further ado, let's get on with the video. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog, but this is going to be a 12-hour timer challenge reading vlog. I'm going to set a timer on my phone for 12 hours, and every time I'm reading, I'm going to have the timer ticking down, and then whenever I'm doing other things like sleeping, looking at my phone, eating, showering, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to try and get lots of reading done. I am starting this vlog on Sunday. I don't anticipate we're going to do any reading for this video until tomorrow. I am currently hoping today to wrap up the book I'm currently reading, which is for a different vlog. So that is from my ARC reading vlog, which will be up hopefully by the time you guys are seeing this. And so if you want to go check that out. But I'm hoping to get lots of reading done. I am a very fast reader. I just want to preface this by saying that. So if I'm reading a lot of books and it seems like I couldn't possibly be reading them, I am. I don't know how I read this fast. It's a blessing and a curse. I get to more books because I read for less time and I get to more books, so I get to read more. But at the same time, I also don't get to stick with a book as long. So sometimes, it's like I feel like I've gone through it so fast because I have, but I haven't rushed or anything. And also when you pay like $30 for a book, it's kind of sad when you go through it so fast. But I am a fast reader, so who knows how many books I'm going to get through in this. I feel like I'm saying that now, and I'm probably going to read very slow in this video just because I said that. But I'm going to set the timer for 12 hours. I do know what book I'm going to start with. And then I'm going to mood read. I may go through some options with you guys and work out my thought process on what I want to read. I think I want to read at some point, He Sure Looks Like Plant Food to Me. I'm not sure what I think that's the title. It's by Santana Knox. I'll put a picture on the screen. It's like 100 pages. I think I want to get to that at some point. And I'm actually going to go grab the book we're going to start with. And before I show you what book I'm going to start off this challenge with, I actually want to go over a bit of my game plan or my goals. I'm hoping to read 5 books. And some of these are short. Like if I read He Sure Looks Like Plant Food to Me or whatever it's called, it's only 100 pages. So that'll be super quick. But I'm hoping to read 5 books. I want to read a mix of, obviously that's on my Kindle, and I want to read physical books and Kindle books. And I just want to have a fun time. I don't want to get stuck, so I'm not going to force myself to read anything I'm not in the mood for. I'm just going to mood read. And I feel like I suck at these challenges. I've done a timer challenge once before, and I think it was 2023. I'm not sure, but I did 24 hours. And that lasted weeks and weeks and weeks because I wasn't reading a lot more than I normally would for the sake of the video. I was just having it on when I read to see how much I actually read in 24 hours. And that video went on for forever, I feel like. And I'm hoping this one doesn't do that. That's why I'm doing 12. If this goes by too fast and I don't feel like I read enough books, I may, next time I do this 24-hour style. But I definitely want to do this again. And I think my game plan is to read short books I'm in the mood for, and probably mostly romances and thrillers. And I think I will show you what I'm starting with. And that is going to be Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Eiley. I'm very excited to get to this one. It says Dead Women Don't Forget. And how many pages is this? This book, oh, that's a different book. This book is 254 pages. So I am hoping to read this very quick. I may even read this in one day. We shall see. But it says, in a hauntingly unique and compulsively readable psychological thriller, 3 women murdered by the same man unite in the afterlife to find comfort, solidarity, and justice that transcends death. This sounds so good. I've heard fantastic things. And with that, let's go get reading. I've started Ask for Andrea. I'm on page 60, and so far this book is very sad. I mean, it's not a spoiler. It's what this book is about. These 3 women are murdered by this guy in different timelines. We have one that was 2 years ago, one that was a year ago, and one that's now. And they're all murdered by the same guy, and they're now just living their first few days as ghosts and acknowledging they're dead, finding out what happens next, and doing different things. It's very emotional, and it's just a very sad book so far, but I'm really enjoying it. I love the writing. I'm really loving all 3 of our main characters, and I'm very interested to see what happens next. And I'm going to go do some more reading, and I'll update you guys when I've read some more. I have a quick little update for you guys. I'm already off to failing this video. I was reading and totally forgot to start the timer. So I know that earlier I read for around half an hour, and this last reading section I read for around 20 minutes. So I just started the timer when I remembered. So I put 11 hours and 10 minutes on it because I thought roughly that's what we were at. And I am now on page 126 of Ask for Andrea. I'm still really loving it. It's getting good. There's things starting to happen. I don't want to spoil anything, but they have 2 of them, like the one who died or was killed the longest ago, she has now met or seen the one that died in the middle, if that makes any sense. Because they're all different times. There's like 2 years ago, a year ago, and now. And it's been like, this one has been a ghost for a while. And now she has seen the next one be murdered. And so that's what's happening. I'm really enjoying it. Let's go continue reading. Hopefully I remember to press the timer from now on when we read. I finished Ask for Andrea. I give this 5 stars. I am obsessed with this. It was so emotional, devastating, but beautiful. And I just loved all 3 of the main characters so much. And it got very intense at the end. And I just had a fantastic time. I would highly recommend this to anyone who loves thrillers. And even if you don't like thrillers, this is not your typical thriller. This is so different. And with the aspect of them being dead, they're ghosts. And I just really, really enjoyed it so much. That is it for this book. I have a picture of the timer. I will put it up on the screen. How much time we have left. I believe it's just over 10.5 hours. So I'm going to start our next book, which is going to be The Guy Sure Looks Like Plant Food to Me by Santana Knox, I believe is the title and the author. And this is only like 78 pages. I believe it's some sort of romance. I think it's sapphic. And that's really all I know about it. So I'm going to go get reading. I finished The Guy Sure Looks Like Plant Food to Me, and this was a crazy time. I give this 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. It definitely was weird and a little bit different. This is about this witch, and she accidentally turned this Venus flytrap into like this, like part tiger, and it's sentient and likes to eat people. And then she ends up instantly falling for and feeling like she can't live without this woman who walks into her shop. And so they are instantly like, we're meant to be together. We can't live a second apart from each other, which did bother me. But I really enjoyed the aspect of them and the magic and the, like, Chewie is the name, short for Chewbacca, like from Star Wars, for the Venus flytrap tiger thingy. And I really enjoyed it, and it was good. It was definitely different. It was unique. It had some gore. People were eaten by Chewie, and overall it was a fun read. I'm glad I read it. I will put how much time we have left on the timer on the screen here. That's how much how much we have left, and I really don't know what I want to read next. I think I want to read a thriller, but I look at my shelves and I'm like, which thriller? But then at the same time, do I want to read a romance? Or do I want to read something else entirely? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's go over to my TBR shelves and pick some options. I feel like I don't have that many thrillers on my TBR. So part of me is like, I want to save them, but at the same time, I should just read them. I'm really not sure what I'm in the mood for. I feel like I should probably read something short, but I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. I really, really don't know. This is just some of my TBR from here over at all this shelf. Then there's some down below here that you cannot see. And I'm really struggling to choose a book. What do I want to read? Do I want a romance? Do I want a thriller? What do I want? I don't know. I've pulled 3 options and none of them are thrillers. I have a dark romance, a magical realism romance, and a horror. And so I feel like the one I'm leaning towards most maybe is Midnight Message by Avina St. Graves. This is a dark romance that says Mina knows 3 things to be true. She hates sports. She's obsessed with an ice hockey player anyway. Sliding into his DMs is the best and worst thing she's ever done. It says Mina might have been stalking him first, but he can do it better. And on the front it says, I thought you knew better than to leave your door unlocked. Anyone could come in. Like, this sounds so good. Then if I want, like, that one's like almost 400 pages. Then if I want one around the same length, I could read Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates, which is a horror. And I've loved the other Darcy Coates books I read. I read 2 and I loved both of them. And this one is about this woman who moves back to her family's old winery that they used to own, and like creepy things start happening. This one sounds good as well. Or if I want something really short, I could read A Highlander for Hannah by Mary Warren, which is like a time travel-y romance, and it has plus size rep, and it's about this guy. It says Graham McNeil fell asleep in his uncle's stable in 1745. He woke over 200 years in the future across the Atlantic. He's in a world he knows nothing about with a woman who drives him mad with lust and just plain mad. And this sounds really good. How many pages is this? It is not even 240 pages. So this one would be a very short option. But I feel like the first 2 books I read were very, very short. As for Andrea, and The Guy Sure Looks Like Plant Food to Me. So I think, and it's also the one I'm least interested in, I think I'm going to eliminate A Highlander for Hannah. And then we are between these 2. Do I want a dark romance or a horror? I think I'm going to go with Midnight Message. And this is a dark romance. I'm very excited for it. I've heard some good things. It came out this year, I believe. It's a very recent release. My only thing is, that font is tiny. But I'm going to go get reading and I'll update you guys when I made some progress. It is so extremely hot today, but I've made some progress in Midnight Message. I'm on page 115 and I'm really enjoying this so far. It is a dark romance for sure, so check trigger warnings. She has been stalking this guy because she is a writer and author, and she has written, her current book is about this guy, and she thinks that this guy she saw online is like exactly like the character in her book. He looks like it, and she started to think of this real person as the character in her book. She's obsessing over him. She stalks him, but he also stalks her back. He knows she's stalking him. He breaks into her house, stays with her while she sleeps. Definitely check trigger warnings, but so far, so good. Let's go continue reading. I finished Midnight Message, gave this 5 stars. I'm obsessed. I loved both of these characters so much and their dynamic, their relationship. I felt the chemistry. Definitely, it was so good. I truly hated Jack and Mina's mom. Despised them so much. But I loved Leo and Mina so much. This book was incredible. Love the writing. I definitely want to read more from Avina St. Graves in the future. And I think the next one I want to read is Fiery Little Thing. But I'm also interested in her new one, Pink Ink. But I just loved this so much. If you love dark romance, I highly recommend this. It is a like more of a not silly time, but it's not super serious. But I really enjoyed it. It's, if I didn't say the tropes, it's stalker. He has cameras in her place. And she breaks into his place. They're both stalkers. They're both morally gray, but fantastic. Highly recommend. And it definitely got really, really good. And it also has endometriosis rep, if I didn't say that already. And that is that book. Now we have to move on to our next book. Actually, I'll show you the timer. I'm sorry, this clip is so chaotic. We have 8 hours, 41 minutes left on the timer. And now we have to choose our next book. I'm not sure. I think I've narrowed it down to either a physical thriller or an ebook romance. And I really don't know what I want to read. Do I want to read a romance or a thriller? Or am I in the mood for a physical or an ebook? I really don't know. I'm going to have a think for a minute and I'll come back when I've decided. I think I've decided I'm going to go with an ebook. It is The One I Need by Shel Sloan. It's book 2 in a series. I read book 1 in July. Absolutely loved it. 5 stars. This is book 2. I don't remember who it's following or what the tropes are, but I'm excited because I loved book 1. So I know I like the author's writing and I liked the characters in the first one. So I'm very excited for this. And this is going to be good because it continues the series. So let's go get reading. There is just over 8 hours left on the timer and I am 43% into The One I Need by Shel Sloan. I am really loving this. This is a small town romance. It is following Oliver, who we meet in the first book. He's friends with the MMC from book 1. And also Izzy. They meet at a wedding and they have a one-night stand. She tells him she's not interested in relationships, doesn't believe in love. He is very much a relationship kind of guy, looking for someone to marry, have kids with, and all that stuff. And they like each other a lot. He is very obsessed with her and they become friends and now they are in Vegas. It is only one bed. I know that the tropes listed include accidental marriage, so I'm guessing while they're in Vegas, they're going to end up married. But I'm really enjoying this. I love the writing, love the characters, and I'm enjoying their flirting and I'm just having a great time. Highly recommend so far, so let's go continue reading. I finished The One I Need. I ended up giving this 5 stars. It was fantastic. I absolutely adored these characters and the writing and just everything about this book. I loved how all the tropes were and just how everything ended up working out. And I really felt the love between these two. And overall, it was just a phenomenal read. If you have not read this series, I highly recommend starting with book 1. I mean, you can start with this one. They're interconnected standalones. But I loved this one and book 1. And now we are going to move on to our next book, which I have decided on already. I was thinking I wanted either a physical thriller, which I wasn't sure what, or a book on my Kindle that is a romance. It's called Cozy Cabin for Two, I believe. And I think my plan is to read that after this thriller. And so I had to look at my shelves and I'm like, what thriller am I in the mood for? And I have decided to go with The Island by Catherine Cooper. This one is one that I got recently. I think I got it in July, but I'm very excited to read it. It just screams summer, and since we're still in August, I think it's the perfect time to read this. It says The Perfect Escape or The Perfect Trap. And I love this cover. I'm obsessed. I love the covers of her other books too, so hopefully I love this and then she has some other books I can pick up. This says, in the most beautiful place on earth, something ugly is waiting. When a select group of influencers and journalists receive an exclusive invitation to a luxury resort in the Maldives, it seems like the ultimate press trip. But when the island is cut off during a storm and people start dying, it looks like someone has murder in mind. Are the guests really who they seem to be, or does each one of them have a secret to hide? Something they would kill for. Sounds really good. I haven't really heard too much about this book or this author, but I'm very excited to dive into this one. So let's just get reading. I've made some progress in The Island by Catherine Cooper. I'm on page 201 and I'm really enjoying this so far. This is following several different characters in one timeline, our current timeline. We have Malia, I believe is her name, and she is at this island where there's these influencers and journalists get to go there and experience all these very expensive opportunities. She is there and that is happening in that time. And then also in 1990, there's Ashley and Xander, I think his name is, and they are currently at this party and that is what's happening there. So we're seeing both things going on. And I don't want to say too much because I feel like stuff only really started happening 50 pages ago. So I don't want to spoil too much, but it does say on the back that, someone does end up being found dead. We still at this point do not know who. We think we know who, but it's not confirmed. And I am enjoying this. It's probably going to be around a 4.5 star. I am really liking it. It's not a 5 star, but I like the writing and I'm enjoying the characters. Molly is okay. I don't like Xander at all, and Ashley's okay. So I'm not like obsessed with the characters, but I am still having a good time. I definitely want to find out what's happening. I have some theories. I feel like that's going to be my theories are too easy, so we'll see. And I never guess correctly in books like this and thrillers. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen, how everything's going to go, and let's go get reading. I finished The Island. I gave it 4.5 stars. I had a fantastic time with this. And I was right, kind of, in my guess of what was going on, who was behind everything. I was a little right, but a lot wrong also. There's generally a lot of like components to it, and I was a little right. I got one thing right to do with that, and the rest I had no idea. So I am very happy with this. I had a great time, and I actually got another thing right as well. Something I had predicted near the beginning, and I forgot about my prediction, but yes, I got that right too. But I am done with this. Very much enjoyed it. It was a good time, and I would highly recommend it if you want a good summery thriller. It definitely gave the summery vibes, set in the Maldives, gave all the vacation destination vibes, and it was just beautiful to read about the water. It just was fantastic. Again, good writing. And that is that book. Next, I'm going to read Cozy Cabin for Two. Not sure who the author is, but I'll put the image on the screen here. And I don't really know anything about what this is about. I know it's a contemporary romance and it's only around 200 pages. I think it's like 199 Kindle pages. So I'm hoping to read all of this tonight, and I will probably come back and let you guys know what it's about, what my thoughts are when I have completed it. So let's go get reading. I finished Cozy Cabin for Two. I gave it 3.5 stars. I was not really enjoying this for like the first bit of this book, but then I started to enjoy it enough. So I gave it 3.5. It was good. I had a fun time. I'm glad I read it, and I might recommend it. I probably would if you're interested in it. Give it a read, and it is very short. Basically, this follows our FMC Willow. Her husband has passed away, and she and her daughter, who is 8 years old, moved to this small town where they see her dead husband's brother, and they stay with him, and he looks after them because he has always had feelings for her. She's always had feelings for him, but she married his brother instead. And then that is what's happening at small town, and they are staying in his cabin. He's staying somewhere else. He just lets them stay there, and it's very much, she comes back to, like, she sees him for the first time in many years because he's kind of not kept in contact, and she's like, I still have feelings for you. And I wasn't a huge fan of that because she talks about how the brother, the one she married, was more of like a friend, and also we see how they got together, and he just asked her first, but she never felt that way about him. So why did she say yes? They were in high school. So I don't know. And sorry if that didn't make any sense. I feel like I'm not making any sense at all, but I did enjoy it. 3.5 stars. I liked the story and the plot, and I really liked the MMC, and it was cute. It was fun. It had a little bit of spice, but not very much, and it wasn't very detailed. I would say like 1 chili pepper, maybe. Yeah, probably 1 chili pepper of spice. And next I'm going to move on to another book. I'm not sure what though. I should probably either read The Iron Hex, because that is an arc that came out at the beginning of the month on August 4th, I believe. And I should read that. It's romantasy, and if I don't read it, I'll probably just keep putting it off because I'm not a huge romantasy reader, and this one, I honestly don't know why I requested it. I'm not very interested in it. I don't really know what it's about, but I read the synopsis a couple days ago, and I'm like, eh. And I've already forgotten what it's about. It obviously isn't sticking with me. And I should also read Lucian by Fiona Cole, book 2 in this duology, because I read Aspen earlier this year, loved it, 5 stars, and I just never continued. So I probably should, while I still slightly remember that book, because I'm already forgetting so much of it. So those are the ones I'm kind of choosing between, although I'm not really in the mood for either. But I will come back and let you guys know when I've started something and made some progress in it. I have started the Iron Hex. I'm only 10% in. I didn't do that much reading yesterday, but I'm not sure if I like this or not. I really don't know. I feel like right now my thoughts are all jumbled. I can't tell if I like it or if I don't like it. So obviously I'm not obsessed, but I'm only 10% in, and I feel like there are some things I like, and maybe once the story picks up more, I will start enjoying it more. Basically, this is about this woman who says she's a witch. She claims to be a potions witch, but she's actually an alchemist. And in this world, witches are not good. Witches are hunted down and killed. And so I don't know why she's pretending to be one, because even witches, like if you were a witch, why would you tell the truth? But she's not even one. She's an alchemist. So that confuses me. We don't know why she's pretending. And then Hugo he walked into her shop, and then they ended up seeing each other again. And then he is being wanted by I think it's the royalty, I think. And they're after him, and they saw her with him, so now they're after both of them. And that's what's happened in Ira, is that her name? Her perspective. But then we have Rona, and she is a knight. She's pretending to be a man. She is a knight. That's really all that's happened with her. I don't really feel anything for her character so far. I like Ira and Hugo, we don't really know much about, but I'm interested in their storyline, whereas Rona, not interested at all so far. But we get Ira and Rona's perspectives, and I'm very excited to continue reading, because hopefully I end up loving this. And right now, I really don't know. Do I like it? Do I not? So let's go read some more, and we'll find out if I'm enjoying it. I've made it 50% into the Iron Hex, and I'm actually enjoying it so far. So that is a relief. I really enjoy the chapters with Ira and Hugo, and I'm still not a fan of Rona's chapters, but they're okay. They're just kind of there for me. But I really like Ira and Hugo, and I'm very much enjoying their chapters. And it's just very good. There's a lot of travel. There's magic and witches and forbidden magic. She does not remember anything about who she is. This isn't the synopsis. I did check that. But they knew each other. Her and Hugo knew each other before she lost her memory. And then this witch cast a spell on her, and she didn't remember. So they went on this journey to find her memories. And she still does not have her memories, but they did find out who did it. And I am enjoying it so far. Like I said, it's fun. I'm enjoying the writing. We're getting chapters from Ira, Rona, and Hugo. And we also got an interlude, which is just kind of like a little bit of what was going on, not following any of our characters, which I thought was such a unique idea, because I don't think I've seen that done in a book, where it was just a chapter that gave us more about what's going on, but not from any of our main characters' perspectives. So I really enjoyed that. It was just a short little chapter, but it did give us a lot, not a lot more, but it gave us more of what's going on that we're not seeing firsthand. And I really enjoyed that. I am enjoying this book, so let's go continue reading. There is 2 hours left on the timer, and I have finished the Iron Hex. I gave it 4.5 stars. I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed the chapters from Ira and Hugo's perspective. I really enjoyed their characters and how complex they were, and just the development of their relationship, because he remembers her from before. She does not have her memory, so she is getting to know him again and falling for him, and I really, really enjoyed that. Rona's chapters were still not my favorite, but after like the halfway mark, they started getting more interesting. I'm still like, I like her character, but I'm still not like obsessed with her, and I'm not obsessed with the chapters that she's in, but the ending, the way it ended, I really need book 2, which probably won't come out for at least a year, but I definitely want to continue on in this series. Hopefully I remember everything that happened when the next book comes out, because otherwise that's the problem with reading series so far apart and like when the next one's not out, because I forget what happened in the previous book, and then I'm less likely to pick up the next one. Now on to what I'm assuming is going to be the last book for this video. I'm going to be reading Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. I have talked about this so much recently in so many different videos, and I am just so desperate to give this one a read. Sounds really good. This is about this woman who goes back to her family's winery, and it says Margot is forced to come face to face with the horrors of the past and realize that she may be the next victim of a house that never rests. I love Darcy Coates' books. I feel like I even talked about this book in this video, but I'm so excited to read this, and hopefully I can get most of the way through this before the timer ends. But I think I'm going to just update you guys when I finish. Like, I'm going to read this whole book in this video, even if it takes me a little over the timer. We have 2 hours left, so I'm confident I can read this in roughly the time that the timer has remaining. But I'm just going to go get reading, and I'll update you guys when I made some progress. I'm only on page 38 of Gallows Hill, but what's happened so far is Margot has moved back to, well, she is inheriting this winery that her parents own, but they sent her away to live with her grandmother when she was just a child. And so now she's back. She didn't know her parents. She's back in town to where she grew up when she was really little, and it's now her property. So she's getting to stay there, and there was this guy who was talking to her and showed her the place, and that's really all that's happened. But I'm really curious as to why they sent her away, because they cut her out of family photos and stuff, and she feels like they didn't want her. So I'm really wondering what the reasoning was, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm going to go continue reading. I have an update for you guys. I have finished Gallows Hill. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. It was so creepy, atmospheric, and just a really good time. I'm just obsessed with Darcy Coates' books, and I definitely need to read everything she's ever written because I just loved this, and this was fantastic, and I would highly recommend it. And that is this one. And then I ended up with 22 minutes left on the timer, so I decided to pick up Accidentally His by Masha Solo. I'm 35% of the way through, and I've got a little bit left on the timer to go, so I am going to be finishing that off hopefully today, and then I will come back and update you guys, and we will wrap up this video. I feel like I've been doing this video for a long time, but this book is about this woman. She has teleportation magic, and she can teleport herself, but only when she's drunk, and she can only teleport herself, like not even her clothes. So she ends up naked in this man's hotel bed because he was there with, he sleeps around with a bunch of women, so he was not surprised to find a woman in his bed, but she was thinking that him being in bed with her was a dream, and then she woke up and realized no, he's very much there, and that she teleported in her like when she was drunk the night before, and that's what's happened. He is not a very good guy, and I think part of it is because of he's forced to marry somebody, but the way he talks about the woman he's forced to marry, he says, oh, that she should be honored that he's willing to marry her, and that she's probably ugly, and yeah, so I didn't like that. Not a fan of him, not a fan of the story. It sounded kind of ridiculous and silly, and it is, but it's not my favorite. I don't really care for either of the characters. I'm not finding it very engaging. So I'm going to go finish this book. It's probably going to be a low rating, but I'll update you guys when I finished. This challenge is officially over. I finished Accidentally His with 26 seconds left on the clock. So we are officially done this challenge. I ended up actually enjoying Accidentally His. I know before I wasn't really enjoying it. Thought I was going to give it a low star rating, but I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It was a fun time. I would probably recommend it, especially since it is so short. but it definitely picked up for me, and I did start liking the characters a lot more. And that is going to be it for this video. We read so many books, and they were all so good. The lowest star rating I gave was a 3.5. So I read lots of good books, had some 5 stars, and read so many books. I feel like I've been doing this video for forever, and I kind of have. I think it's been 18 days of this challenge, which I know I read so little at a time. But thank you for watching, and before I go, if you made it this far, please leave the clock emoji. And before you guys go, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.